Jeff Greenwald, Jeffgreenwalt as in Tom, and I'm a lieutenant with the Austin Police Department over the Homicide and Aggravated Assault units. I appreciate everybody coming out today. We did have 3 murders over the last 24 hours, and we're here today to talk about those murders, give a little bit of a synopsis of each one, and ultimately elicit any information from the community that might have information on these murders to assist in our investigations. I want to address each one of them at a time and find out if there's any questions on that specific murder before we follow up on the next one to make sure there's no confusion between the different cases that we're talking about. The first homicide we're going to talk about is labeled as number 31, and it did occur yesterday, Wednesday, August 26th at approximately 2:46 p.m. in the 6600 block of James Ranch Road in southeast Austin. We received multiple 911 phone calls about a disturbance in the street, and while officers were en route to the disturbance, it updated to shots had been fired and that there was a victim with a gunshot wound. We were able to locate the victim on scene, who has been identified as Derek Amorico, a 51-year-old white male who was pronounced deceased. Another person was also transported with less severe injuries. All of the people involved in this particular situation have been identified and are known to each other. It's a domestic disturbance dispute that we're investigating, and right now we're basically sorting through the details of the witness statements and the evidence to determine whether or not an arrest will be made. There's a claim of self-defense, and that's what's being investigated at this time. We are staffing the case with the district attorney's office and trying to determine the best course of action once we get all of the evidence and the witness statements. We do want to ask if there's anybody in the community or in the neighborhood who feels like they have information about this case or was a witness to this case to go ahead and reach out to us. The tip line for the Austin Police Department Homicide Unit is 512-974-TIPS. If anybody wanted to reach out at that number, they could do so. They could also just go through Crime Stoppers and remain anonymous as well. Does anybody have any questions about that specific case?
Can we get the spelling and the name of the victim after this is done with, just to make sure? Okay.
What's that?
PIO can find
That's the
out.
one that happened on here on New Creek in South Austin?
Yes. Down near McKinney Falls.